Hi, I'm Katrina Julia. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur and a transformation coach, and welcome to the #1 place to be to create and scale a life and business you love with freedom. And in this video, you want to get ready because I'm going to share what you want to know before you start your business and or leave your 9 to 5. So this is kind of like me talking to myself maybe 7 years ago, and hopefully you get a ton to benefit from it as well. So a little bit of backstory, if you're just tuning in with me for the first time, is I have worked in 7 different industries. I got all the way up to a chief executive as a chief audit exec in corporate America. And I've worked in strategy, finance, operational roles, and then I've now been an entrepreneur full-time since 2011. And the road hasn't been easy by any stretch of the imagination. And I've now worked and served over 15,000 entrepreneurs, influencers, and brands. Full disclaimer, just being completely transparent, I've just now reached 5 figures consistently and stably, you guys. So I went through so many different mindset things of feast or famine, even though I had all these external results in corporate and so many things that I got a chance and still am healing from. So this is me on the other side of several things, but then also walking through past consequences of that lack of worthiness, that lack of belief, all the things. So I'm not here to tell you, boom, this is gonna happen overnight. I'm here to share with the intention that hopefully, because of this video, because of my insight, things don't take you as long as they took me, okay? And like many of us can be hard-headed. So let's get to it. Speaking of corporate America, you guys, think about it. When you're in corporate or you're working a job, if you don't show up on time, and or you don't get your work done, what happens? You get fired, right? So then my #1 tip is act like a CEO now. It may be ugly, it may be messy, whatever it is. So if you have 2 to 3 things to get done today, or the 7 things you're gonna get done this week, get it done. Whether you spend extra time in the morning on your mental mindset, like I did today, fully being transparent. And that's what I felt compelled to do, because I wanted to create these videos and these Instagram reels that I'm creating today from a state of alignment, from a state of abundance, from a state of gratitude. I did not want to force myself to create them in a state of lack, in a state of fear. So I took the extra time, but at the same time, you guys, act like that CEO. So what does that mean? That can mean, like you see in my background, having your goals plastered in front of you. That can mean using a tool like ClickUp that I use for project management and having a dashboard. That can mean being part of programs or masterminds just like I am to stay accountable and to pull the greatness out of you. Or maybe you jump into our Createit Summit or into a more one-on-one program with me, whatever that is for you. Like, you figure that out as far as being not just a creator, but a creator to a CEO, acting like a CEO of your life and of your business. So along those lines, #2, don't treat it like a side hustle or a hobby. So years ago, when I was in corporate, I always had side hustles. And how I treated those side hustles, alongside, sideways, was very different. And I really needed to shift, and I got to shift that mindset of showing up no matter what. Showing up whether this video gets 5 views, 10 views, 100 views, 1,000 views, but showing up with the intention of making an impact in one person's life. Of showing up not only for myself, believing in myself, but also believing in you and believing that everything is working out for my good. Do I have moments? Of course I do. I'm human. I take those moments, I take that time, I pour into me, and guess what? I get back up. So don't treat it like a side hustle or a hobby. Envision the life and the business you want to create. That's what I did with my wellness, you guys, when I lost over 55 pounds. That's what I did when I decided to travel the world for a 1.5 years and realize I could do it for less than what it cost me living in Atlanta. So draw on those examples of life where you've been successful. Something I implemented last month that I think you guys would love too is a money manifestor spreadsheet. So what is that, Katrina? I put the dates of the month. Then I started to think about, okay, Katrina, when you're taking this action, for example, filming a YouTube video, what is this aligned to? Oh, a lifestyle brand launch. Oh, drawing more subscribers. One of my goals back there is getting over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel so that it starts to monetize. One of my goals back there is over 10,000 followers on Instagram. One of my goals back there is over $12,000 months consistently. So all that is tying into those goals and to those launches. And on my Money Manifestor spreadsheet, I list the date. I list, I keep it really simple, you guys. Like my goal for my lifestyle brand launch right now is $12,000 months for that alone, okay? 4 people in that program, okay? So by August 8th. And so when I was creating content for that, it was like, oh, that's 12,000. One of my goals for the summit is by September, $25,000 with all the speakers, all the promotions, everything that's happening. So when I'm taking an action for the summit, I'm putting that in. So that's $37,000, right? Then when I do direct brand proposals or submissions for ongoing CMO work, Chief Marketing Officer, ongoing CFO, Chief Financial Officer work, I put in what that estimate is. Yesterday, an opportunity came to me through Paro Network. If you don't know, I'm also a CPA and MBA, and I'm part of extensive platforms in order to receive opportunities and see if things align. And there was one that came to me with 411 Locals, a company based out of Netherlands that's looking for basically a financial advisor consultant to their CFO. And it would include over 50 hours a week at over 150 hourly rate. So I put that in with proposals, okay? But proposals can be like influencer management. It can be ongoing one-on-one work, whatever that is. And that's how you start to build the Money Manifestor projection list, but also what actual cash you have at that point. But not, you guys, and this needs to be said, I know sometimes it can be really, really challenging, and I've been there, like as far as debt, borrowing money from family. Don't let your current circumstances stop you from moving forward to create the future and the life and business you love with freedom. I know it can be really daunting, and seeing the current circumstance or seeing, the current debt or seeing all that. And I don't know what you believe, but for me, my faith is extremely important. And that's what's pulled me through with God so many times. Whatever that is for you, choose something bigger. Choose whys that get you out of bed. Choose whys that compel you to go forward so that you don't quit, you guys, because it's really that simple. Don't quit. Everything in my life that's ever happened, it was because I made a decision not quit. And sometimes that means laying down. Sometimes that means like letting go of something. Sometimes that means going ahead, like starting and building a YouTube channel, whatever that is for you. Speaking of tracking progress and results, you want to put together a 90-day plan, and you want to track things on tools beyond the Money Manifestor tool that I just talked about. So Katrina, what tool can I use to do that? Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. So 2 tools that I absolutely love and adore. Number 1 is LivePlan, L-I-V-E plan.com. I started using LivePlan, you guys, back in the day when it was on discs, when I used to work at ConocoPhillips in, 2006. And now it's cloud-based. You can set up financial forecasts. You can set up a financial plan, a marketing plan. It's, I want to say $20 a month. It's well worth the investment. Speaking of number 2, the second tool I use to track and create a 90-day plan and stay focused is on ClickUp. ClickUp.com, and this is not an ad, you guys. I've used them. I hope to work with them one day on an ongoing paid project, media, marketing, etc. But I've used ClickUp now for over a year and a half. It's the #1 project management tool. That's how they market themselves. But honestly, I've used over 7 different project management tools, and I can honestly say I believe it's the best. And what I really, really love about it is not just the organization, the branding features to align it like to my colors, but also what I love about it is the ability to create your own dashboard. So I have a basically CEO dashboard of tracking my progress in areas of life personally, like spiritually, mentally, physically, and color-coded graphs. And I'll show you guys in an upcoming video some of the behind the scenes of that. So stay tuned because that's in my brain and it's written down. And also on ClickUp, you can track your financial progress on proposals, on launches, whether it's projections or actuals. So it also keeps you focused and your brain focused. And the thing is, you guys, every time I ever have reached goals in life, part of it was because I kept reinforcing things. I keep an ongoing key performance indicator email that I email myself at least a couple times a week. Now I added in stickies in front of me. I have a vision board that's like on the side of my closet. Then I have the dashboard in ClickUp. Like all those things, those are examples of things that help you stay focused on where you are going. Not just where you are, but where you are going. And so yes, be grateful for the present, be grateful for this moment, be grateful and be present, but also recognize what you're moving towards. So the other thing you wanna know before you start your business, or even if you're already in it, is you wanna think about what you can do right now to get money in the door on a one-on-one basis, you guys. This is something I wish I would have implemented right from the start, because what it does is it helps you solidify your confidence, create confidence, and then you have consistent cash flow, which reinforces that, and you have cash to reinvest in the business and make sure that you're taken care of, versus battling the things with entrepreneurship of fear, doubts, disbelief, and then having physical things show up that align to those lies. I promise you, you can do this. I promise you, tens to hundreds to millions of people are doing this that are not as smart as you, that don't have as much value to offer as you. You can do this. Don't doubt that. Like, keep going. You know, what does that mean as far as one-on-one offers? You could have one-on-one consulting for strategy, for branding, for business, for finance. Like, ask some people, if you don't know what it is that you're really good at, what would they pay you for? Like, I had Lillian a couple years ago start to plant that seed for me, that she was like, hey, I would pay you for this. I would come to you for this, okay? Speaking of, the next thing is you want to create a B2B to C plan. So Katrina, what does that mean? That's business to business to consumer. So initially in my first or second year of entrepreneurship, actually it was like the second, third year, I started sharing my results and my before and after on Facebook with Herbalife Nutrition. And in that first year, my business grew 25 times, which I was like, wow, imagine if we do this on a grander scale with community, with influencers, with all the things, right? Well, because of that and my own limitations and things that I wasn't thinking about at the time, I really started to focus on business to consumer. And some people, so this isn't a knock, like whatever your journey is, your journey. Some people knock business to consumer out the park, and they get there and they're focused there and they get consistent and stable income there. What I learned in my own journey was, because I started focusing there and then I started shifting my business into a lifestyle brand model and the educational piece and all that, I ended up losing some traction. So the reason why I say focus on business to consumer is it goes back to the last point. If you have stable cash flow on one-on-one clients, whether that's one-on-one with a person, like, Katrina to Catalea, or whether that's Katrina to Berea, like a ministry that I have that I'm part of as a chief marketing officer, or as a brand, like brands that I integrate with. So it could be one-on-one with a person, it could be one-on-one with a brand, ongoing monthly, ongoing yearly, right? Because then you have that stable and consistent cash flow, okay? And then also along those lines, you can utilize platforms like Upwork, like Travel Massive, like Matador Network, like Wonderful, like Dynamite Jobs. There's so many platforms, you guys, that I'm part of that I'm constantly wired to look for business to business opportunities. And I'm not afraid of, because some people ask me, like, Katrina, how do you balance time and entrepreneurship? Years ago, when I was 55 pounds heavier, I prioritized enslaved work because a lot of that came from fear of poverty, all those things. Well, as I got healthy, as I lost 55 pounds, as I prioritized time with our Creator first, time with making sure my wellness is taken care of, making sure I have space in my day, then all those things started to happen easier and easier and easier. And you guys, I'm not the one that's always doing those. So in some of my videos, I talked about automating and delegating. So my virtual assistant, as an example, she, like, just 2 examples, she messages Fortune 500 marketing directors and vice presidents and HR VPs and directors every month. She reaches out to influencer management potential people with a clear process outlined in an email that I set up twice a month. So those are things that I'm not necessarily doing, but they're a B2B strategy. And then my brain is already thinking, like I did in corporate, that I started visioning that, okay, once we get to this point, we're bringing on a VA. Then once we get to this point, I'm bringing on a ongoing consultant / director / employee to take this off my plate. Make sense? Okay. Another tool that I want you guys to also know about from a B2B standpoint, and this actually came to me from a TikTok, that you want to definitely stay tuned on Indeed. INDEED. So for example, with my influencer management business, Indeed has proven such a great resource to not only connect with potential opportunities, but then reach out to them, not just from the job role, but from an ongoing consulting or team role. And I've seen people on TikTok do that with social media management. So Indeed is an invaluable resource on a number of standpoints too. We also list roles on there for wellness coaching alongside entrepreneurship, Herbalife nutrition. So you can use Indeed on a number of different angles. So a quick and easy way you can start your website, you guys, is with an incredible tool like Wix. Wix is where I first started back in 2011, and I love how easy their templates are, how intuitive it is. And then another tool along those lines, and I use both of these now, is Kajabi. Kajabi helps you automate and scale, and they are the #1 reason why over 75% of my business is automated. And then the last thing you want to know before you start your online business and or quit your 9-to-5 is thinking about Instagram and what your strategy is going to look like from that personal brand into sharing that authentically on a platform like Instagram. So you definitely want to check out my video on your personal brand and building your online presence, where I share quite a bit on there. And then also an incredible tool that I started using in 2022, and big shout out to Jasmine Star and Social Curator. And so I also dropped that link down below that you can try it out, because it helps you guys with captions, it helps with launches on Instagram, with stories, with lives, all the things. So like if you're noticing, which I hope you are, a difference in my Instagram game in 2022, a large part of that, so one, it's faith and increased confidence and never quitting, all those things, but it is also a tool like Social Curator, and also being this year in the Influencer Master course with Katrina, and also a B School graduate. So anything I share with you, know that I am also investing in growth, investing in community myself, so absolutely practicing what I preach. So with that, you guys, as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to.